How y'all doing, guys? Hope you're alright. It's like 10 o'clock at night now, but I'm going to do another vlog. Earlier on, as you can tell from the title, it's about a death in custody at my old prison, Forest Bank. Earlier on, a journalist from the Manchester Evening News contacted me and said, "We believe that something's gone on at Forest Bank. We've no idea what it is, but for the past day or so, there's been no video link up and running and stuff, and there's no only reason behind it." So I get on the phone. Within 5 minutes, I knew what had gone on. I don't know the prisoner personally. First of all, my sincerest thoughts and my condolences go out to the victim's family. All that's been reported is it's a 51-year-old male who was found unresponsive in his cell on Wednesday, the 27th of April, and it was just before they were going to open up. It was about, I think the police were called at about 7:45. Apparently the death wasn't suspicious, but yet people were locked behind the doors. When a death in custody happens, guys, it happened when I was in when I got out a few weeks ago, like 2 months ago, 8 weeks, yeah. And there's a lad that was due to get out in and around the same day I was, a guy called Darren Rawlinson, God bless him, may rest in peace. He's died in custody. He died, and what happened, right, on that wing, everyone was kept behind the doors, locked up and stuff, and then the screws, they got the cleaners out, and then the cleaners would take food to each cell. They do what they call a controlled unlock, and they come out and then they get the food and then they go back behind the doors. I believe he was in a double cell. Apparently, from what I'm hearing, he was bad on drugs. He's taken drugs and stuff, and one of the drugs he's taken is spice. Now, I'm honest to God, right? I don't know why, but when someone dies in prison, it's like I take it personally. It hurts me because people are in prison, right? Prisons, like I say, I've had good times in prison. I've had down times. Yeah, I've spoke about the roller coaster, yeah. But people are dying in prison. It kills me, man. Honest to God, it kills me. And the thing is, the Ministry of Justice, they do fucking nothing, right? Now, yes, drugs are big business in prison. Forest Bank's got its share of fucking issues with drugs and stuff like that, just like every other prison in the UK. It's no secret. It's been reported in the media. The screws know about it. The lads know about it. The media report on it. So all I did is, when this journalist contacted me, I rang one of the lads' girlfriends, and she said, Spice, cell were cordoned off, controlled unlock, all usual stuff, right? But yeah, how many more people, guys, are going to die in prison, right? For the goodies, they'll think, oh, good, he took drugs, he deserves to die, he's a prisoner, fuck him, right? Prisoners are human beings, guys, and there's some great cracking lads in prison. They've made mistakes in their life, right? Rightly or wrongly, they've been punished, right? Personally, I don't think prison works. I think prison does more harm than good. People in prison become addicted to drugs. People go to prison never touching drugs, right, and coming out or leaving prison in body bags. I spoke about a kid called Jordan Hyam. My thoughts are still with him. He's still alive, but apparently he's brain damaged for life. It was his first time in prison. He took spice and is now, mentally, he's brain damaged for the rest of his life. Do not take spice, guys. And I don't care if you're watching this, people have got mobile phones in prison. If you're watching it in prison, right, don't take it. If you're watching it on the street, right, and you're just a normal kid, and you end up in prison, do not take fucking spice, guys. Honestly, I'm a former drug dealer and stuff like that, and I've dealt with spice in prison. I used it as currency and stuff. I don't take drugs, and that drug now, if you said to me now, here's a shitload of free spice to shift on to make a profit, honestly, I wouldn't touch it. It's a disgusting drug. It's killing people. And the thing is, right, what you've got to think of, when someone dies of a drug overdose in prison, guys, right, it doesn't just impact the prisoner. Obviously, they die. It impacts the prisoner's families, the friends of the prisoner within the prison and stuff like that. And all what? So you can get a cheap high. Like, come on, guys. But like I say, the Ministry of Justice do nothing. In my eyes, any deaths that happen within prison, the blood is on the hands of the Ministry of Justice, because if you make conditions better for prisoners and stuff, there's still some of them will still take drugs, but some people take drugs to escape the realization of where they are. They use them as a coping mechanism. If they're depressed, they might take them to get high. But once the drug wears off, like I've never taken it, but if a drug gives you a high, once it's taken you up, it's got to bring you back down, guys. And like I say, it's not worth it. I'm sick of seeing people leave prison in body bags. Like, this is the notice, right? This is the actual notice from the last death in prison custody, right? It's there for you guys to see, right? Right, and I'll put it down, right? That was the notice. I actually ripped that off the wall of the wing, right? It says you can speak to a chaplain and all that stuff, right? What you've got to think of, right, is like, yes, the prisoner's taking the drug himself, right? But fucking to die in prison, man, it's the most horrible place to die ever. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you die if you die when you're free, it's bad enough. But to die in prison, he could have done a long stretch. He could have been on a short stretch, right? He's probably got kids. He's got family. He might have a missus, right? A wife, girlfriend, kids, family, and all their lives now, like a domino effect, right, are going to be affected by this incident. Sorry, guys, I'm a bit somber mooded because honestly, it hurts me, man. Like, I don't want to see anybody die in prison. I don't want to see anyone in prison. The only people that deserve to be in prison, right, are nonces, rapists, and everything else, right? But there's a lot of good people within prison. And to die, like I say, the kid that died here, Dan Rawlinson, right, he was supposed to get out in and around the same time I was, right? He should be free. He should have been with his family. He's dead. You know what I mean? Guys, if you're going to go to prison, right, for the first time, if anyone offers you something that even looks like a fucking spliff or a roll up, right, they could be spicing it. People think it's funny to spike each other. It's not funny at all. You spike someone, could kill them, right? Prisoners don't care. It's a very selfish place within prison. People want to. There's two, like I say, if you're selling drugs within prison, you want to make a profit. People that are taking drugs, they just want to get the drugs so they can get high. So, like I say, the fucking in the first instance, right? The person that wants the drugs, they're getting the drugs, and the drug dealer's getting what he wants, right? So everyone's winning, but it's not though, are they? Because when incidents like this happen, it fucks people over. More needs to be done. I think if conditions were improved, if people's relationships with the family were improved, like I say, he could have taken it on purpose to kill himself. He might have just overdosed, right? But from what I'm hearing is he took drugs. So, like I say, his taking drugs could have triggered off a problem with his health, and that could have killed him. I don't know. It'd be unfair to speculate, but like I say, it's another death in prison. With the cutbacks and stuff, there's less and less screws on the wing, and with all the administration the screws have got to do, they're not able to spend the time on the wings and stuff. When you lock someone behind, when you've got 80 lads on a wing, 60 lads on a wing, 80 lads on a wing, right? Obviously every prison is different. Some prisons, like, you've got the inners, you've got the outers. Some wings are bigger than others and everything else, right? But when you lock people behind their door for long periods of time, you do not know what they're getting up to, right? And you know what, yeah? The fact that he was found in the morning, he could have been dead for hours, right? Fucking hell, like, the only time that you'd see a screw in Forest Bank, right, coming to your door is if you've got a visit, if OMU or someone wants to speak to you, or they're doing roll count, right? That's the only time you'll see a screw. But at night time, the screws go round there's one screw on a wing at night, and they go round and flash a torch in. As long as they see a body there, right? It doesn't matter if that body's alive or dead. It's one in the cell, so it means that no one's missing, right? And that's what roll count consists of. This guy could have been dead for hours. Rigor mortis could set in and stuff like that. The police attended. I believe they cordoned off the cell and everything like that because it's classed as a crime scene until they're given the all clear. When Darren Rawlinson, the prisoner that died while I was in, God bless him, may rest in peace, his body lay there for about 8 or 9 hours. It wasn't on my wing, it was on a wing adjacent to mine. He was on G1 and I was on H1. And he worked in the kitchens as a chef and stuff. Now, it just kills me that people leave prisons. Like, more needs to be done, right? Like I say, if people were out and socialising and stuff, right, and are not open for longer, they'd be able to see these incidents happening, right? But like I say, fucking hell, there's a leaflet here somewhere that tells like how to safely take drugs, guys. Like, serious, like, I don't know where it's at right now. Stay there, I'll try and find it. Right, and it's like how to safely take drugs, right, in prison. I can't find it. It's here in all my paperwork somewhere, right? So yeah, so like I say, how to safely take drugs in prison, because the Ministry of Justice know there's a problem, right? It just bothers me, man. It bothers me. Too many people are dying in prison. More needs to be done. More help needs to be given. People need to be like. The drug tests, right? Some strains of spice show up, others don't. If it is indeed spice, well, I was told he was on spice. So, like I say, drugs could have played a part. It could have been his health. The drug could have triggered a health problem, which then he sadly passed away. Like I say, my thoughts and my prayers and my serious condolences go out to his family at this sad time. But guys, like, what are your guys thinking? Like, what do you think about prisoners dying in prison? What do you think about drugs within prison, drug deaths within prison, and people leaving prison in body bags every day? Last year, there was 119 prisoners that just took their own life. Now, that doesn't count, right? That doesn't count people. That was suicides, right? 119 last year, 2016. That doesn't include people dying of drug overdoses and stuff, because a drug overdose, you can't tell if there was intent there. Some people aim to kill themselves, other people don't. It just happens. Yeah. Sorry guys, I'm just going over the same old stuff, but the prison, I've been in the prison, like I say, the prison's rife with drugs, just like anywhere. That's not trying to blow anybody up and all the rest of it. It's just a fact, right? Prisons are rife with drugs. It just goes on. But like I say, if prisoners were happier, maybe they wouldn't take drugs. People take drugs as a way out. There's too many people in prison that shouldn't be in prison. There's a lot of people on short sentences and stuff that could have been dealt with by a community order and put to community service, but no, they're sent to prison. Someone was caught begging for 50p, they got 6 months in prison, 5 months in prison for 50p. 50p? You know what I mean? You can't buy you can't buy a can of Coke for that these days. And people go to prison. Like I say, some people in prison, they thrive in prison. Other people, it breaks them mentally, it breaks them physically, and they slash up, they attempt suicide or they commit suicide. People turn to drugs through peer pressure, through a wanting to belong, through fuck it, I'll try it, right? Or they could have been in debt and someone says to them, look, fucking smoke this. Someone could spike them. And then, like I say, that could kill them, or they could then become addicted to the drug and stuff like that. More needs to be done, guys. Like I say, I keep doing these videos and stuff. If it was up to me, I'd start a movement where we start marching and start protesting about what's happening in prisons. But people just want to sit on Twitter and sit on Facebook and slag all the system off, but don't want to do anything about it. I actually want to do something about it, but I'm only one person. I can't do it on my own, can I? Right, guys, I'm going to leave it here. I want to, as always, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what your thoughts are on this sad subject. If you look at my first video that I did when I got out of prison on Forest Bank, you'll see me talking about the death in custody there and stuff, and saying, like, and I did one on the death of him as well, Darren Rawlinson, God bless him, may rest in peace. Again, with this sad, tragic incident, my thoughts and prayers go out to the prisoner's family. His name is due to be released in due course in the next 24 hours. I reckon his name will be come out. I hope to God I don't know him, but like I say, the fact, even whether I know him or not is irrelevant. Another prisoner has died in prison, and it's looking like a drug overdose from what I'm hearing. Right, guys, gonna leave it there. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Speak to you soon. Bye.